I'm still trying to see how you leave freaking eggs out. No, put them in the refrigerator. So weird. I know I ain't touching them eggs. Let's see what it says. It says, according to the USDA, refrigerated eggs should not be left out for more than 2 hours. Eggs are stored colder after the hen lays the eggs. Once a cold egg is left out at room temperature, it can sweat with. Like, what the hell is she talking about? Leave the eggs out. Like, if that's the case, why don't you take them other eggs out of the refrigerator and just leave them on the table, you know? Like, why even, like, put them any in the refrigerator? It doesn't make any sense. Unless they're trying to make somebody sick purposely. The best eggs at Walmart. That's the ones that I like to eat. I don't know. And then my freaking bike was like twisted. Like, I don't understand that. Like, look, what is his problem? If he has a problem, he needs to go get his brain check. Go get some Jesus in his life. Short arm cocky. Like, he kept going in the freaking basement earlier. Like, how did my freaking bike seat get twisted like that without any help? Who freaking twisted? Twist the freaking seat. If you're gonna twist the freaking seat, twist it back. Duh. Hi, Miss Furrow. Hi. How are you? I'm just chilling. Yeah, I get salmonella contamination due to how they are processed before they get to the grocery store. Salmonella is also the reason you shouldn't be eating raw egg. According to the USDA, though, refrigerated eggs should be left out for no more than 2 hours, ideally. Hold on, I have to use the bathroom, guys. So sit right here till I come back. Dude, it's freaking gross. That was the freaking biggest. The biggest. I messed up at the broccoli, the nut. And that brown rice I just had. That's amazing how people do. I was seeing some weird stuff. So it says, there's freaking people that leave my stuff alone. Like, I don't like people touching my stuff. I freaking hate it. So why do I hate people? Why do I don't like people touching my things? Because I hate it, because it's mine, it's annoying, and it's an invasion of my privacy. So verbal and emotional abuse, victory over verbal and emotional abuse. When they say, like, you're worthless, you'll never amount to anything, I wish you had never been born. That's something my mother said to me one time. She said, like, I don't know why you type of people are living. You should be dead somewhere. Like, words like these in childhood can wound the heart for a lifetime. And further warning takes place in adulthood, when control is the name of the game. Threats like, if you leave me, I'll hurt the children, or I'll take the keys, you're not going anywhere, are both emotionally, verbally abusive and are ways of maintaining control in relationships. Abuse can also be perpetrated without a word, whether with degrading looks, told you, the evil looks, degrading looks, upset gestures, or flirting behaviors. These actions inflict immense pain and impede emotional growth. You don't have to allow an abuser to make you feel worthless. Jesus says that God not only knows each and every sparrow, He also knows you intimately and considers you to be great worth. Are there not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies, yet not one of them is forgotten by God? Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Don't be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows. Luke chapter 12, verse 6, verse 7. Definition: what is emotional abuse? Emotional abuse is the unseen fallout of all other forms of abuse: physical, mental, verbal, sexual, and even spiritual abuse. People often trivialize the importance of emotions, yet with deeply wounding people, their feelings can be the driving force behind their choices, a life-sustaining element of their very beings. Emotional abuse strikes at the very core of who we are, crushing our confidence, wearing away our sense of worth, crushing our spirit. The Bible says, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22. Emotional abuse is any ongoing negative behavior used to control or hurt another person. Emotional abuse ranges from consistent indifference to continued belittling or character. All forms of abuse, emotional, verbal, mental, physical, spiritual, and sexual, damage a person's sense of dignity and God-given worth. All forms of abuse wound the spirit of a person and therefore are emotionally abusive. Proverbs, the book of wisdom, says, "A crushed spirit who can bear?" Proverbs chapter 18, verse 14. Emotional abuse or psychological mistreatment scars the spirit of the one abused. The damage from emotional abuse lasts far longer than damage from any other kind of abuse. A broken arm will soon heal. A broken heart takes much longer. After attending periods of emotional abuse, many victims lose hope, feeling that life is not worth living. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12. Emotional abuse can be passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive abuse is a means of indirect, underhand control, hence the term is passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive abusers express their anger through non-assertive covert behavior in an attempt to gain covert control. They often use manipulation as a means of placing themselves in a position of dependence. Then with underlying anger, they become fault finders of the people on whom they depend. Victims of passive-aggressive people feel perplexed and dismayed at being the target of punctual and manipulative behaviors. Friends of passive-aggressive abusers often become enmeshed in trying to comfort or console them in response to their claims of unjust treatment and their inability to handle life on their own. Passive-aggressive abusers need to recognize and resolve their very rare anger and take to heart God's warning. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 9. Emotional abuse can be either overt or covert rejection. Overt rejection conveys a message that a person is unwanted or unloved, as when one is belittled as a child. Covert rejection takes place in a subtle ways that may or may not be intended to cause harm by the perpetrator, as when one is ignored as a child. Biblical example, both under covert rejection, Tamar reached 2 Samuel, 2 Samuel chapter 13. Overt rejection, Tamar's daughter of King David was raped by her half-brother Amnon, and then was openly and bluntly despised and shunned by him. covert rejection. Their father, King David, indirectly rejected Tamar by failing to execute justice on her behalf when he refused to hold Ammon accountable for her sin against Tamar. David's incest let his sons off the hook by totally ignoring the sexual violation of his daughter. What does the Bible say about emotional abuse? Enter. The Bible doesn't use the term emotional abuse, but it does instruct us as to how we are to treat one another. The Bible details numbers of attitudes and actions we should have toward each other. If we follow these guidelines, we will never be abusive toward anyone. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humanity consider others better than yourself. Each of you should not only look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, verse 4. So what is verbal abuse? Verbal abuse is a form of overt emotional abuse. A skilled woodsman wields his weapon carefully, chopping repeatedly on a pierced spot until the target tree falls. This lumberjack takes pride in controlling himself and his weapon, never striking a careless blow. Likewise, a verbal abuser uses his tongue as a weapon to hack away at another person. This abuser is skilled in his ability to strike a blow, wielding words that constantly cut heart and soul. You love every harmful word, oh you deceitful tongue. Proverbs chapter 52, verse 4. So verbal abuse is a systematic hater. Just want to let you know as. So verbal abuse is a systematic only going to use of harmful words or a sharp tone in an attempt to control or dominate another person. Abuse means mistreatment, the destructive misuse of something or someone. Verbal abuse is always destructive. Your tongue plots destruction is like a sharpened razor. You who practice deceit. Proverbs chapter 52, verse 2. Verbal abuse injures the feelings of others with reviling, assaulting, or contemptuous words. The Hebrew word for revile is gada, from a root word that means cut or wound. Jesus said, "Blessed are you when people assault you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me." Matthew chapter 5, verse 11. Verbal abuse often seeks to injure the reputation of others, using tactics such as backbiting, barbs, or belittling talk, and strategies such as slander, slurs, and lies. You love evil rather than good, falsehood rather than speaking the truth. Proverbs chapter 52, verse 3. So it says, what is brainwashing? Many prisoners of war have succumbed to brainwashing, an effective tactic used in psychological warfare. This term refers to a systematic, forcible indoctrination that puts pressure on prisoners to relinquish their beliefs and accept opposing beliefs. Unfortunately, you don't have to be in a prisoner of war camp to be brainwashed. Your captor could be a significant member of your own family or a new set of acquaintances. In whatever circumstances brainwashing occurs, the damage can be devastating. Sympathetically wearing away your sense of self-worth and confidence, causing you to distrust yourself and even to lose touch with reality. Those people are zealous to win you over, but for no good. What they want is to alienate you from us, so that you may be zealous for them. Galatians chapter 4, verse 17. Verbal brainwashing is intimidation. Verbal brainwashing, intimidation, implying that your failure to comply with all demands or to adopt all the abuser's attitudes or belief will result in severe consequences. Indoctrination, repeatedly implanting messages contrary to your presently held values or beliefs. Discrediting and belittling your outside family and friends who disagree with the abuser. Degrading, engaging in name-calling, assaults, ridicule, and humiliation. Labeling, claiming that your thoughts are childish, stupid, or crazy. They do not speak peacefully, but devise false accusations against those who live quietly in the land. Psalm chapter 35, verse 20. Emotionally brainwashing, isolation, depriving you of all outside sources of emotional and social support. Inducing exhaustion, keeping you up late, interrupting your sleep, causing sleep deprivation, wearing you down physically or emotionally. Excessive compliance, militarily forcing tribal demands, ignoring, withdrawing emotional support, but later denying that withdrawal. Forgetting, intentionally failing to keep promises and agreements. Exploiting, using you or someone close to you for selfish interest or gain. The enemy pursues me, he crushes me to the ground, he makes me dwell in darkness like those long dead. So my spirit goes faint within me, and my heart within me is dismayed. Psalm chapter 143, verse 3 and 4. It's a lot. Words have the ability to build others up or to tear us down. Do not let any wholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. So you're gonna buy these books.